Okay, we have the tubes fitted. The owner sent a new set. I tested them and I was able to find 4 out of the 7 or so that he had that were actually good. The bad news is the Type 45, he only had one of those because they're expensive and hard to find, is completely dead. It does have filament, it does warm up, but on my tube tester it has 0 emissions. Now, I don't know, is it my tube tester? I've seen that happen before, and it may work, so I'm going to plug it in and try it, but we're going to bring this up really slowly. Again, I'm putting my same signal in here, and I just realized I do not have my signal tracer on the bench, but if we find out that the Type 45 doesn't work, I'll have to get that out so we can at least test the rest of it and tune it in. So let's see what we get. I'm just starting to bring it up on the Variac here. I know we've had it up and running, but I just want to make sure. So here's about 60 volts on there right now. And I'd like to see this one down here light up, which is the 45, because you can see the filaments really well. And you can see I'm starting to get a little glow on the indicator light, which is good. Okay, I'll bring it up a little more. We're up at about 90 now, I would say. I'm not hearing anything out of the speaker yet. Like I said, with a bad tube, I'm not really expecting to. Let's bring it up a little more. We're about 100. I'm getting some filament glow. Oh yeah, the 45's lighting up. I can see it in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's starting to glow now a little bit. Let's turn some of these lights off here. See if we can get a little... No sound yet. Might help if I put the correct... Okay. Hey, do you hear that? There is a little sound. Okay, let's try to tune it. We bring it up all the way. Okay, we have full power. We're drawing just barely, not even half an amp, which is about what I would expect. So let's try to tune this and see if we can grab the frequency. Nope. There it is. Getting something. I don't know if you hear that little pop. Okay, I think the tube is bad, and I think we are tuning. So let's get the signal signal tracer out and see what we can get. All right, good news. That's the speaker. That's the speaker. So the amplifier is working. So it sounds like all we got to do now is tune these coils in. I can hear the signal, but it's not. So if I go here, and you can hear there it's coming through the speaker of the... That's actually the speaker of the radio. Hear that moving around? Okay. So let's see if we can't just get this thing to tune in a little bit better. Alright. So we have So I'm going to mark these coils. Okay, so let's zoom you in a little better. And the way this is oriented is this is the first RF. This is second RF. This is third RF. And this is fourth. The idea is to get these things to all align with one another, which is not easy. And you really shouldn't use a metal screwdriver to do this, but we're going to have to see if the plastic one will turn those screws in there or not. So let me get that and we'll be back.
She doesn't want China to put the wood to
Well, we have a radio station, but sometimes you hear things on the radio that you wish that the tuner didn't work. But anyhow, I digress. It is working.
Eat them like the rest of us because they're real tasty, especially with 11 herbs and spices.
Now you got to remember on these radios that when they work, any capacitance, like your body, anything surrounding the radio, because it's a TRF, will throw them off. Watch. So they double as a theremin.
What's her name?
But it is working.
This isn't food. It's violence.
Jordanian because of passports from Palestine. No such nation. But in any case, his Jordanian passport was with him. When he came back about a month later,
And you got to remember,
denied him entry.
it's a bad speaker too. But it is working.
Visited a couple places and maybe some individuals who were connected.
I never
with
thought it would,
terrorism.
but
Specifically,
there it is.
people from the George Habash Palestinian terrorist network.
Now, how would they know that he visited these?
So I think we have a completed radio. This is about as good as it's going to get. You can't really expect too much more out of these than what it's doing now. And even putting it in the case, moving it to a different location, it'll fade in and out of calibration. And that's kind of how these old TRF radios worked. They're very sensitive to everything. But it works, and it's really interesting to see something like this old work, especially with the wrong transformer. And the transformer's core is aimed right at the antenna jack, and everything's going against this poor radio, but it's working.
Can be legally excluded or not. So,
It was pretty
Are
loud,
you stuck
too.
at the airport at that time, or are you incarcerated?
they can do two things. They can put you in jail.
The other thing you have to remember, these are 2.5 volt tubes, the filaments, and they can take quite a while to warm up and to stabilize. So this radio's been playing for about a half an hour, and I've been tinkering around with the settings to get it to balance. But so far it looks pretty good, and I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. It is functioning. So we're going to get this back to the owner. I'm sure he'll be really pleased to see it play. And again, you know, it is what it is. It's not a super heterodyne. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my voice here, but anyhow, it's that time of year. As you can see, it's working, and I guess we'll get back on the ICO video next. All right, one last look at our radio. It's really sounding pretty good here. It takes about 5 minutes to heat up, but
Mayhap center Evgeny Malkin for tonight's game against Vancouver. He has missed 7 straight games with a lower body injury, but yesterday he did stay.
not bad. So there it is. Somehow we got it to work. So, all right. If you like this one, thumbs up, and more to come later.